Well, I know that you are all familiar with our next speaker, but let me tell you a little bit about what our university president, Gordon Gee, has been up to since we heard from him last year. He spent his last summer driving 4,100 miles just inside the state of Ohio, reconnecting with students, alumni, parents, and residents. He has boasted about consuming countless elephant ears, and I will let him tell you the story about being christened by a cow. He has also traveled from New York to Chicago, California to Florida, and back again, all while propelling Ohio State from excellence to eminence as our students, schools, and colleges continue to gain national acclaim. His reputation precedes him, and few can follow him, although I believe that you can attempt to do so on Twitter if you choose. I'm told he may become even a more familiar face here in this area come fall. Remember that solar house I spoke of earlier? Apparently, he has thrown out the idea of living in it for 1 month on the National Mall. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to our university president, Dr. E. Gordon Gee.
Thank you, thank you. Great, thank you. No, Archie, I accepted that opportunity to live in the solar house on behalf of you. So I want you to know that. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, OH, right? Great, it's wonderful. And Congressman John Boccieri just showed up. Where are you, Congressman? Please stand and be recognized. Right. There you are, right there. Great. Thank you. We're glad to have you here. So, and Pat did a wonderful job, didn't he? I'm going to be very, very short because the thing that stands between you and work is me, and I'm not that entertaining, actually. But I want you to know that we appreciate everyone who is in this room. It's a great opportunity for us to get together and celebrate the institution. It's something we didn't do, Archie, when I was here the first time, and so I really appreciate the fact that we can all come together in celebration of a great university, in celebration of what we're trying to accomplish. I get asked all the time, you know, Ohio State is the largest, most audacious, most complex, most interesting institution today. We have 62,661 students if they all got on the bus, and we have 40,000 faculty and staff. We have 457,000 living alumni around the face of the earth, and we have 11 million Ohioans, all of whom love that institution. One of the things I discovered when I traveled to all 88 counties this summer, I sometimes tell the story about the fact that when I came to Ohio State, I came from the University of Colorado, which has 21 counties, and I was president of the university, which had 4 campuses. So I would travel all the time between 19 counties just to get to those 4 campuses. So I would make a cameo appearance in the other 2, and I would always be able to say that I had been there. And so I come to Ohio. I'm being introduced as the new president of the university. I get up and am waxing along eloquently, I thought, and then all of a sudden I blurted out this thing, and I said, furthermore, I'll visit every county in the state every year. And then I asked someone how many counties there were. Right there was Jack Kessler. He said 88. I nearly went back to Colorado right then. But I did my first year, visited 88 counties, and then visited 44 and 44. Those of you who are mathematically challenged, that means I did half of them each time. And then when I came back a year and a half ago, I visited all 88 counties. I'll tell you 2 things about you Ohioans. And I'm not an Ohioan by birth. I'm a born-again Ohioan, and I'm privileged to be so. But one of the things that I've discovered about Ohioans is 2 things. One is you love your university. You love your university. You love this institution. Not many people ever have an opportunity to come to the institution. Not many people ever have an opportunity to come to our stadium, Archie. We only hold 106,000 people, so we can't get that many folks in there. We're thinking about expanding it, actually, but just kidding you. But they love that institution no matter where you go. I appeared in West Union, Ohio, a town of 75 and 250 people show up. Not because I'm the president of the university, but because of the fact that they love Ohio State, and it's a fabulous place to be. The second thing is they love Ohio. We were at the Fiesta Bowl, and we were all sitting there eating dinner, and the lady who's in charge of all of the food service and so forth, she comes up to me and she says, "I am from Cambridge, Ohio," and I said, "Well, how long have you been here?" She said, "I've lived here for 17 years." I said, "You must love it, this beautiful weather, bright other things." She looks me straight in the eye, she pokes me in the chest, she said, "Find me a job in Ohio." love that place, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to build a fence around Ohio. We're going to keep all of our talented people, and we're going to make certain that all 11 million plus many more can come and be with us, because we are not the Rust Belt, we're the Knowledge Belt, and that's our future. Our future is not one of decline. Our future is one of opportunity. I want to tell you that. I also get asked the question all the time that what is it like running a university? And I thought I would, particularly this large complex institution. I pulled this out, and this is I'm 36 years of age. I'm a brand new president of West Virginia University. I am failing. I'm not doing very well. I read this account of a trial taking place in Clarksburg, West Virginia, in the local newspaper there, and I thought it was the best description then of what it's like running a university, and I think it's probably the best description now of what it's like running a university or running a country, which many of our Congress people do. And it says, during the trial, the attorney for the plaintiff introduced into evidence the weapons he said the defendant had used in the fight with his client: a huge fence post, a dagger, a pair of shears, a saw, a pistol, and a World War II saber. In his counter-argument, the lawyer for the defendant produced weapons he claimed the plaintiff had employed: a scythe, a hoe, a double-bladed axe, a sledgehammer, a shovel, a shotgun, a hog-skinning knife, and a pair of tongs. After deliberating, the jury filed back into the courtroom, and the foreman stood to read the verdict. "We, the jury, have talked it over," he said solemnly, "and we have decided that we would have given $1,000 to see that fight." So, and then, of course, there's a story about a woman standing in her kitchen, and her son barges in the room and announces, "Mom, I am not going to school anymore, and I'm not going for 2 reasons. They don't like me there, and 2, it hurts my feelings." And the mother turns to her son, she says, "Son, you're going back to school, and you're going for 2 reasons. First, because I say so, and second, because you're the president of the university." So that is, that's what it's like sometimes. One of the things that I love to do is I love to go out and read to these small small children in grade schools around the university campus or wherever I can go. And I was recently doing this, and so what these teachers do, then they make these kids send me notes, and I thought I'd read a couple of the notes to you. This one is from Maria Foster at Clinton Elementary. "Dear President Gee, thank you for reading to us. It is always a pleasure to have someone read to you besides the mean librarian." I'm sorry, I thought that was so funny. We all enjoyed the book. You did a great job showing the pictures and speaking loudly. And then this one is from the Linden Elementary School. Very recently visited them. "Mr. Gordon," I like that. "Mr. Gordon, thank you for coming to visit. It was fun because you're almost the same size as us." "Dear Principal Gee, it was fun to meet you. Thank you. Me and my friend Betsy want to know if you buy all of your ties from McDonald's or just the red ones." But this one is my favorite. This is my all-time favorite. I'm going to cherish this one forever. This is from Jamie Schott at Linden Elementary, 3rd grader. "Dear Dr. Gee," I'm sorry. "Dear Dr. Gee, thanks for giving us your time. I thought it was exciting and fun. I learned that looks can be deceiving." Well, Jamie's going to do very well at Penn State. So anyway, flying in, I saw the Capitol. I could not help but think of the enormous challenges facing our president. A lackluster performance in the last quarter, a skeptical, sometimes almost hostile public, a near certainty that opponents will pound him all through 2009. But wait, I'm sorry, those are the challenges facing Rich Rodriguez, not our president. So I just want you to know that. But I want to welcome all of you here today, and especially our John Glenn scholars and the great work that they do. And I want to thank Congressman Tiberi for his wonderful presentation, truly a wonderful presentation. I'm one of 4 civilians that has dotted the I. I think you can remember that. John, let me think. Who was it? Woody Hayes, Bob Hope, Jack Nicholas, and Gordon Gee. And I always tell the story that some of you remember. 1995, I was offered the presidency of the University of California, this big UCLA, Berkeley, and so forth. And I took one look at it and ultimately decided to stay where I was at Ohio State. And when I was quoted in the New York Times, and they said, "Why did you decide to stay?" And I said, "Well, because of the fact that I'd always wanted to dot the I."